Hello, Internet. I'm TychoCelchuuu, and you're listening to one of my Men of War commentary, Shoutcast, replay, video things. This one was sent to me by xccam. I think it's a 4v4 or a 3v3. It looks like it's a 3v3. And xccam and his two allies are playing as the Americans. He's bought a Rifleman Squad, the American Rifleman Squad being better than most, I'll tell you why in a sec, and a Bazooka Man, because the Americans don't get an AT rifle. That's something that's always annoyed me about Americans. I myself am American, and I can't think of any reason why my countrymen have not invented an AT rifle, or at least had not back in World War II. We invented recoilless rifles. I think maybe we should be able to use those, but instead all you can buy is a Bazooka Man if you want some light anti-tank in the beginning of the game, which is a good idea because some light anti-tank is going to keep your infantry safe from any tanks that they buy, or more accurately, vehicles that they buy. The riflemen, the infantry that we are keeping safe in this instance, are better than pretty much any other rifleman that you can buy because the American riflemen, I think 4 of them or 3 of them, I'm pretty sure 4 of them come with Springfields. Those are not very good guns. Those are 1903 issue guns. And those were used in World War I to great effect, I'm sure. But this is World War II, and what we would rather have is an M1 Garand, or Garand, depending on how you want to say it. And that's what the other 2 riflemen get. Those things are fantastic, because they are semi-automatic. That's right, you pull the trigger and they'll fire, and then you pull the trigger again without having to bolt the thing. And they also have 8 shots, compared to the Springfield's rather meager clip of 5. And those 2 pretty much add up to being the best riflemen in the game. Of course, there are things like the SVT-40 that the Soviet naval infantry get. Stuff like that. What the heck was that? We'll never know. Ouch. That's an AT gun. Don't drive your Tetrarchs. Enemy Tetrarch destroyed. They must be playing against the British. What kind of crazy matchup is this? But yeah, the Garand, or Garand, is basically the best thing that you can get your level 1, your low little rifleman to use. And having taken his point and told his rifleman to go prone and get out of the cap zone, which are both great ideas on xccam's part, he's bought a Sherman, and now he's supporting his allies in the middle, which is good. And this is just crazy. People are dying everywhere, and I can't even hope to keep up with this. Maybe he'll be able to take out enemy tank. It looks like that was a red number next to the enemy tank, which means he has a very little chance of penetration. But xccam has done a good job because he's done 2 things. He's made all his riflemen go prone and into bushes, which is very important. It keeps them hidden until the opponents... wow, nice shot. It keeps them hidden until the opponents show up, and that's very important because a non-hidden infantryman is the same as a dead infantryman. In fact, if in some languages non-hidden and dead mean the same thing. And he's also moved them out of the capture zone. That's important because the first thing your opponent's going to do when they show up to take your stuff is shell the capture zone with whatever artillery they might have, and maybe even throw some grenades or something. So if you keep your people out of there, oh no, it's that sound again, oh my god. And if you keep your people out of there, that's just going to make them safer on average. So that's good. And he's also spread them out. That's the third thing you should always do to your infantry. Whoa, it's over. What? No, it isn't. He just, that was the scoreboard. He scared me. Yeah, obviously keep your infantry spread out because worst case scenario for bunched up infantry is a grenade or an explosion, which is just like a kaboom and they all die. But what also happens about as often is a machine gun or something cuts them all down, and it's just easier for the machine gun to mow them all down if they're in one big group. If you ever look at people in real life, they do not all move around in tightly formed clumps, at least not in war. Maybe teenage girls walk around like that, but giggling to each other. But obviously in war, you really want to keep your distance from each other, not just because you haven't showered in a while and you smell bad, but also because anything opening up on you is just going to kill more people if there's more people around to kill. That is a lesson that most people learn in Men of War, but it's a hard one to apply because obviously by default your infantry come in tight little groups, and if you select them all in their tight little group and move them all in their tight little group, they're going to stay in their tight little group until they all die in one wonderful explosion. That is bad. So apparently there's some button that's supposed to make your infantry spread out, or some sort of command that you can issue them to make them all spread out, but I've never seen that work. Red Alert had that. Come to think of it, I have not played Red Alert in many years, but no, your best option is just take the extra 2 seconds with your elite Korean micro and select them in 2s and move them out. That's what xccam has done, and that's what I often do. Sometimes I move them in 3s, but that's only if I'm not expecting. Looks like that Scott got smashed. A lot of people fans of the M8 Scott. Me, so not some. Oh, it's that sound. I think I've heard that sound before. Can't remember what it is though. So like it is a Bazooka Man. It just knows this Bazooka Man is a black guy. That is not historically accurate. We had very few. We were very racist back in the 1940s, you might have noticed. We had very few black soldiers fighting, and when they did fight, they were all in their own units. But, I don't know, maybe Men of War, because Men of War is a Russian game, so maybe they're trying to rewrite history, make the United States look better. Why? I don't know. But, there you go. In any case, he's taking Mr. Melvin Ward, I can't really read his name. He's taking whatever this dude is, and he's having him move very carefully. He's prone. He's only single-clicking to move. If he double-clicked, Mr. Melvin would get up and sprint. But he managed to get pretty far before he was spotted, because he's out in the open. The other thing you want to do to stay stealthy is stay in bushes, which Melvin did not quite get the hang of, and that was the end of him. He actually could have fired his bazooka from that point to the Sherman, but I think xccam at this point is going for that Cromwell, not the Sherman. The Sherman having been knocked out already. Yeah. Trying to take out the Cromwell. The Cromwell I am not a big fan of because it's ugly.